annihilation looms. There are already reports of cannibalism.
Oh my, that's so disgusting. Alright, Napoleon crosses the Alps.
The year is 1800.
I didn't know if I should have done this or not.
New leader.
Because he just uploaded this.
First consul, Napoleon Bonaparte. 5 months have passed since the Brumaire coup cast France's directory into the dustbin of history. In its aftermath, Napoleon has skillfully outmaneuvered his co-conspirators.
Yo! Look at Napoleon here. Napoleon looks like a Giga Chat. Like, it blows my mind how when Napoleon was younger, he honestly did look like he had some pretty Chad features. If his paintings were, of course, accurate. Which I'm just taking it at face value. I'm just assuming that it is. Like, but as he got older, his face got more freaking round. I'm like, what happened? I mean, obviously, he was living that lavish lifestyle of an emperor, alright? So I'm not really surprised. But still, bro, Napoleon had freaking supermodel genes, man. Not only was he a freaking, like, one of, arguably the most legendary conqueror, he's a freaking got supermodel genes, man.
And in a new constitution, confirmed by a massively rigged referendum, he's been confirmed as first consul. Alongside new consuls, Cambaceres.
Oh my gosh, man. Napoleon LARPing Russia.
Napoleon wields enormous executive power and is eager to use it. First, he offers an amnesty to royalist rebels in the Vendée, helping to pacify the region and freeing up troops. Then he creates a new national bank to restore confidence and growth to France's dysfunctional economy.
Alright, Napoleon, okay, Napoleon knows how to run the country, okay?
He strengthens the gendarmerie, the paramilitary police, and orders it to take ruthless action against bandits who infest the French countryside. And he transforms French government, personally appointing prefects to govern every French département, as well as sub-prefects and even the mayors of larger towns. Each achievement is trumpeted by the few newspapers still allowed to print, and which are now entirely under state control. But there is no reason to doubt Napoleon's immense popularity, and that his remarkable energy has begun to drag France out of chaos and torpor.
Look at that Giga Chad there.
However, his reputation has been forged in war.
Although his face kind of like, you kind of see that his face is starting to look round. But when Napoleon was like in his 20s, man, his face, it looked sleek. Freaking Napoleon mogging everyone. Ugh. He conquered everyone. He was beating people in his 20s and he was mogging everyone. Oh my gosh.
And with France facing another military crisis, he must quickly turn the situation around, or his rule could end as suddenly as it began.
They offer peace to the Austrian emperor. He did not wish it. We now have to take it by the throat.
France is threatened on two fronts by the armies of Austria, which has 200,000 men in the field. In Germany, France's most powerful force, General Moreau's Army of the Rhine, is poised to launch a counterattack. Moreau is a skilled commander with influential friends, who had himself turned down an invitation to lead a coup against the Directory. Napoleon, warily respectful for now, offers advice but will leave Moreau to wage his own campaign.
Yeah. I would love to see what happens to him.
That Napoleon identifies the greatest threat.
It's always Italy.
The greatest opportunity.
It's always Italy. It's literally, dude. I swear everything is happening in Italy. I barely see anything. I barely see anything with the Rhine. Okay, it's not until later on in Napoleon's reign that the Rhine actually became not really like Germany. Like, you know, I'm just gonna say Germania because there wasn't really a country of Germany. Well, it was the Holy Roman Empire. Well, yeah, I would say the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was basically a whole freaking battlefield.
Napoleon's stunning victories had left France dominating northern Italy. But in 1799, forces of the Second Coalition, led by the great Russian general Alexander Suvorov, had won a series of crushing victories over the French.
Whoa, wait, so this confirms that Russia... Okay, this answers my question. Because I think I asked like a long time ago, like, oh, was Russia like directly involved in a coalition early? Okay, wow, okay.
He had then been ordered to Switzerland. But before he could get there, General Massena's victory at Zurich thwarted coalition plans to unite their armies and staved off disaster for France.
Bro, Massena is like the goat of Italy.
Emperor Paul, incensed by British provocations, had then withdrawn Russia from the Second Coalition. But nearly 100,000 Austrians remain in northern Italy, under the aggressive and able leadership of General Melas. French forces, on the other hand, are scattered, outnumbered, and desperately short of supplies. It's nothing new for France's army of Italy.
Yeah.
But even the arrival of the great General Massena to take charge barely lifts morale.
Oh, bro, that's how you know it's really bad.
It is a fragile position. But secretly, Napoleon is planning a grand strategic maneuver to turn...
Hold on a minute. You know something that we need to talk about? We need to talk about these republics that were being set up, like the Batavian Republic, there's the Cisalpine Republic, and there's another republic down here. What were these countries like? I would love to see like in-depth, detailed videos, like its own videos, like explaining what these countries were like. Because these countries were basically like what, short-lived states, essentially, right?
The tables on the Austrians and crush Melas's army. At Dijon, he has begun to assemble a new army of the reserve under the nominal command of General Berthier. Veterans and conscripts alike are scraped together from depots, provinces and garrisons until a force of 60,000 men has been gathered. A more cautious strategist may have chosen to reinforce Massena from the west, using established supply routes to shore up the front. But driving the enemy back on his own supply depots is likely to lead to stalemate.
Yeah.
Instead, Napoleon plans to swing south, through the Alps mountains, and emerge behind General Melas, cutting off his supplies and his escape.
The infamous Alp March.
Strategic plans in history.
Yeah, I would love to see more. I will, eventually.
And surprise. A swift and safe passage through the mountains. And for Massena to hold the line in Italy as long as he can. But while Napoleon's army is still assembling in France, Massena comes under heavy attack. On the 6th of April, General Melas launches an offensive. While General Ott makes a diversionary attack on Genoa, his main force moves to cut the coastal road at Savorna, driving a wedge between General Suchet's forces and General Massena.
I mean, come on, it should be kind of obvious it really and truly should be obvious that freaking what do you call it? Like they would attack there. Like this is the most obvious spot because it will cut Genoa off. So I don't see the point of a diversionary attack. Like I don't know, Masena. It's like common sense, bro. It's literal common sense.
The French launched desperate counterattacks to break the encirclement, and General Soult wins a brilliant local victory over Ott at Montefache. But the French are heavily outnumbered. After 2 weeks hard fighting, Massena is forced to withdraw into the city of Genoa, where he is besieged by land and sea.
Oh, that is, yeah, that's nasty. He's completely surrounded. Ooh, Massena, how are you gonna survive that one?
All the way back to the Var River on the French frontier. News of the army of Italy's defeat disturbs Napoleon.
Disturb? I would be panicking right now.
He is relying on Massena to fix Melas's attention. If Genoa falls before he arrives in Italy, he will be a sitting duck, trapped between the Austrians and the mountains. On the 6th of May, Napoleon travels to Geneva to join the Army of the Reserve and order the offensive to begin.
An army can pass always and at any season wherever two men can set their feet. Facts. Hey, freaking Hannibal did it in those marshes, right?
The Alps. 500 miles long, more than 100 miles wide. Their highest peaks more than 15,000 feet.
Wow, that's very tall.
They can be traversed by several well-known mountain passes. But these are narrow, winding trails, vulnerable to avalanches, with no fodder for horses and mules. It's a daunting challenge for an army of 50,000 with 40 guns and hundreds of wagons.
Dog. 50,000. Yo. Oh, how are you gonna pull this off?
Napoleon has decided the bulk of his forces will cross at the Great St. Bernard Pass, at an elevation of 8,100 feet. On the 15th of May, General Lannes and his advance guard begin the climb.
They're climbing it!
Even in late spring, the mountains are blanketed in deep snow.
Yeah, let me tell you a quick story. I think this is like what one of my teachers back in my old science class. I was like in 8th grade or something, and he was talking about the Earth's atmosphere. He was teaching us how, as you get higher in the Earth's atmosphere, it actually gets more colder. And he told us a quick story where he was like in the Midwest. He was either in Nevada or one of those states around Nevada. I think it was in Colorado or South Dakota. One of those he was like near around the those big mountains. I forgot what they're called. The Rocky Mountains, I think, in the US. And he was telling us a story where his friend never saw snow before. So he looked at his friend and he was like, "Oh, you never saw snow before? All right, I could take you for a quick drive, or a hike, or it was like one of those or something like that, up a mountain." And sure enough, despite the fact that it was like in the Midwest, where it's like, notoriously hot, and it's desert. He said on the bottom it was desert, but on the top it was snow. So yeah, that's actually quite cool. It just reminds me of that story. So let's continue.
To reduce the risk of avalanche, they march at night and early morning. A strict silence is
Why? Is it? I don't know. Is it because like it's colder during the night?
enforced. The only noise, the howling wind and crunching snow.
This is what you wanted.
The barrel of each cannon weighs around half a ton. General Marmont, commanding the artillery, comes up with the idea of laying them in hollowed-out tree trunks, so they can be hauled like sleds. Lannes' advance guard snakes up the 8-mile trail. It's 5 hours of grueling uphill marching, and at several points the men are close to mutiny.
Oh, I would
But
bet.
they make it. At 8,100 feet, they reach the summit of the pass and the St. Bernard Hospice, where food and rest has been prepared.
Food and rest has been prepared. Who prepared this? Who prepared? Wait. So like, they like who prepared this? They knew that Napoleon was coming? Am I missing something here? Someone answer this question for me.
The rest of the army completes the crossing over the next 10 days. It is a testament to General Berthier's planning that just 5 men and a single cannon are lost.
5 men. 5 freaking yo. How? 5 men? Yo, this is probably one of the greatest logistical feats in history. Because when Hannibal crossed the Alps, that was a nightmare. But granted, Hannibal crossed with a lot more. I think he tried to cross with 130,000 men. So still, he got out with like what, 10%? I don't even know. I forgot how much he got out when he got out of the Alps. I forgot how much of his forces were left over. But still, compared to that, though, this is still impressive.
Contrary to Napoleonic propaganda, the first consul made the crossing on a sure-footed mule, trailing the army, rather than leading it on a charger. Lannes' advance guard presses forward into the Aosta Valley. They sweep aside small Austrian outposts, then surprise and scatter a whole battalion at Châtillon. But a nasty surprise awaits at Fort Bard. The fort, held by the indomitable Captain Bernkopf and 400 troops, dominates the pass with its heavy artillery. Infantry and cavalry can skirt around it by means of a goat path, but artillery and wagons will be seriously delayed until Fort Bard is taken. A first assault by French grenadiers fails, with 200...
Oh! I love that explosion.
The fort remains defiant, and for Napoleon, the clock is ticking. In Italy, the French position is increasingly desperate.
Nice. I forgot about this. How's this doing?
15th of May, the garrison of Savorna surrenders.
Oh
In Genoa,
boy.
Massena conducts a brave and active defense. Though in one sortie, General Soult is badly wounded and captured.
Ooh.
Starvation looms. There are already reports of cannibalism.
Oh my. That's so disgusting.
Napoleon cannot wait for Fort Bard to fall. The army must push on without its guns and baggage, and hope to capture supplies from the Austrians. On the 23rd of May, Lannes attacks the enemy at Ivrea, taking the town and citadel. 3 days later, he defeats General Hadig near the village of Romano. The Austrians fall back on Turin. With 30,000 French troops now pouring into Lombardy, Napoleon has done it.
He's unstoppable.
One of the most famous marches in history. Italy is wide open.
Now, what do you do in this position now? What do you do in this position now?
Did you know?
We have struck here like lightning. The enemy can hardly believe it.
Mélas quickly grasps the significance of Napoleon's maneuver.
Oh, he's smart.
He recalls Elsnitz's corps
He's
from
smart.
the frontier and sends his forces to guard the River Po crossings. He assumes the French will march to relieve Genoa. But despite the desperate plight of Massena and his starving garrison, Napoleon turns east towards Milan.
Nah, Napoleon Perot said, Massena can wait. You know that meme? You know that meme, bro? That meme where it's like insert whatever and then you say can wait? Nah, bro. Napoleon Perot said, Massena can wait.
General Vukasovic holds the city, but heavily outnumbered, he retreats towards Mantua.
Oh, the famous Mantua.
On the 2nd of June, Napoleon enters the capital of Lombardy. But unlike the celebrations of 1796, this time, French troops are received in cold silence.
Oh, why?
Locals have not forgotten Napoleon's brutal crackdowns of the past.
Oh.
Regardless, in Milan his army can finally rest and requisition much-needed supplies. 3 days later, reinforcements arrive from the Army of the Rhine, General Moncey's division, which has made its own arduous Alpine crossing through the Gotthard Pass.
This artwork is getting really good.
The first consul is on the cusp of achieving his grand encirclement. Back in the mountains, Fort Bard finally surrenders.
Nice.
Stubborn defense means Napoleon will be short of guns and ammunition in the days ahead.
Oh.
Then, on the 8th of June, disastrous news arrives. Napoleon has asked too much of Massena.
Oh, shoot! Genoa!
Weeks.
Freaking, my voice cracked. Ay, ay, ay. Genoa
has been a scene of utter horror. Several thousand civilians have starved to death or died of disease, along with 4,000 French soldiers. General Massena, his own health broken and furious at Napoleon's failure to relieve him, negotiates an honourable surrender, which will allow his surviving troops to return to France. The fall of Genoa frees Ott and 12,000 soldiers to march north to join Mélas.
You know, let's talk about this real quick. It really blows my mind how like back then there was like a very like chivalrous I don't know, moral code, right, where troops could surrender honorably and the enemy would just let them go back. I always like ask myself this question, like, why would they do this? Like, is it like, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, is it just in their like moral code, right? Is it like the trend to do? Like, you'd think that they would just simply go and be like, okay, surrender, and then like don't honor their terms. But it just blows my mind how like they actually. Granted, I know that there's some cases where people were lying. That there are plenty of cases, but for the most part, it really does blow my mind how people actually honor their code. You know, like in this case, they just allowed him to go back to freaking France. No biggie. I don't know, maybe because Napoleon's there in Italy and they're having a crisis and they need to quickly send their reinforcements back up north. I don't know. But there's a lot of other cases where they were quite chivalrous and quite honorable. I mean, I respect it. I love it, you know? Like, you know, I feel like a lot of people need to like take note of that more and just, you know, be better people, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's just my opinion.
Napoleon is determined that the Austrians will not now slip past him and escape his trap. And so he divides his army to cover all possible routes east. For once, it is Napoleon's forces that are overextended. And it is Lannes's advance guard that will pay the price.
Oh.
With 7,000 men, Lannes has secured a bridgehead across the river Po, near Belgioioso. On the 8th of June, he presses forward, intending to drive the enemy from the Stradella defile. But unknown to Lannes, he is on a collision course with General Ott's division, marching north from Genoa.
Oh, there!
To stumble into a battle, outnumbered 2-1.
Oh, that's actually not bad. Bones cracked in my division like a glass in a hailstorm. Jeez! That is a wild analogy.
On the morning of the 9th of June, Lannes's advance guard fights a running battle with what it believes to be an isolated Austrian unit, driving it back towards the walled town of Casteggio.
Nah, that's crazy. Towns at this point still had walls? Some towns still have walls? What in the world? I thought walls became obsolete when cannons were invented.
In fact, it is General Ott's advance guard. What rolling hills and tall rye fields hide from view is the rest of Ott's command, 16,000 strong, following up close behind. Around noon, the French spot Austrian infantry holding a ridge to the south. Assuming it's the enemy rearguard, Lannes orders a brigade to swing round and attack. Meanwhile, his cavalry continues to Casteggio. They scatter the enemy in their path and break into the town.
Alright.
To be surprised and countercharged by a much larger Austrian cavalry force.
Oh, that is... Yeah, that's a very nasty surprise. Oof, man.
On the heights, the French make steady progress until 4,000 Austrian reinforcements hove into view.
Oh my goodness.
His men are being pulverized by artillery fire.
Oh my god.
His force is hard pressed everywhere, and still enemy reinforcements continue to arrive. But Ott is cautious and holds back a large reserve. The broken ground leaves him unsure of enemy strength, and he has orders not to be drawn into a major battle.
This kind of seems like a major battle to me.
Lannes receives his own reinforcements, 6,000 men of General Victor's division. Lannes wastes no time. Victor's 43rd Line renews the attack on the right. The Austrian line buckles, falling back to a small stream. The rest of Victor's men race towards Casteggio. Under a hail of cannon fire, their advance stalls. But the 6th Light Infantry is able to cross the Coppa River to the north. Around the same time, French
Dog, this is so mobile. It's very, very uncanny. You know what I mean? It's just freaking, like, usually, you know, soldiers will stand there for a bit, you know, shoot at each other, but this is just so freaking agile and everywhere. Jeez, man. This is probably one of my favorite battles so far.
Infantry take Casa il Giardiana, splitting the Austrians in two. Fearing he will be outflanked, General Schellenberg, commanding the Austrian centre, orders a slow withdrawal. Seeing this, Lannes sends the 96th Line forward to storm Casteggio. With his men tired and darkness falling, Ott orders a retreat to Voghera. The Battle of Montebello, as it becomes known, was a hard-fought soldiers' battle, in which French determination triumphed in the face of Austrian numbers and artillery.
The French took less casualties despite the fact that the French were getting pulverized at the very start and they were outnumbered. Interesting.
As Napoleon inspects the battlefield, he is greeted by an old friend, General Louis David, who has escaped from Egypt during a temporary armistice.
Love these artworks. Dude, these artworks are making these people look so clean, bro. Look so freaking clean and cool. And they deserve it.
Just a year older than Napoleon, David is another of France's brilliant young generals, who will play a crucial role in the days ahead. He is immediately given command of 2 divisions. Montebello is a glorious victory for Lannes.
Yo, hold on. Yo, this is, oh my gosh. Yo, this is hard. This goes hard. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, bro. He's dripped out too. Look at this drip and the sword. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I just had to take a moment to appreciate this.
Napoleon will one day reward him with the title Duke of Montebello.
Oh, it's funny to me how Napoleon was awarding his subordinates and siblings with all of these titles, and it was all in vain, because we all know what happened to Napoleon's empire after, you know, he invaded Russia.
But the larger picture is unchanged. Napoleon still desperately seeks his decisive battle, the victory that may end the war with Austria, and will surely make his position as First Consul unassailable. But Napoleon allows fear of the Austrians' escape to dominate his thinking, and once more he divides his forces. Just as Melas is ordering his forces to concentrate at Alessandria.
Wait, why would Napoleon still think that the Austrians are trying to escape? Certainly Napoleon had reports that where the Austrians are, at least roughly of where the Austrians were. Shouldn't he have not gotten a little bit of reports of Austrian movements at this point as well? Maybe I'm missing something. But based on what I saw, actually, yeah, honestly, it really didn't seem like the Austrians would try to escape. I don't know. I really feel like I'm missing something, because... Am I missing something? Because this really hurts my head, because... Why would the Austrians try to escape in the first place? Like, they still have quite a sizable army. The army isn't really defeated. They just took Genoa. In fact, I'm pretty sure Napoleon would um um should at least realize that okay, they just took Genoa. They're probably gonna try and face everything at me now instead of trying to escape. Like, why would they try to escape when they just took Genoa? I can understand if Genoa was still under siege, yeah, but and they also control the seas too, right? Especially this is like what recently after the Battle of the Nile, so they have naval supremacy due to the Royal Navy as well. So yeah, I just don't really understand like why would they? I don't know. Maybe someone can explain this to me better. I don't know.
For battle. Napoleon has misjudged his opponent. He is headed towards a nasty surprise. A bloody battle that will cost him dear and threaten the future of the consulate. Napoleon needed a win in Italy.
Is this the end? This is the end. Alright, you made it all the way to the end of this video. If you are new and you haven't subscribe if you like my reactions, especially because you made it all the way to the end. Go check out my other Napoleon reactions because I basically done this whole thing except for Napoleon's marshals. I'll go check out my other reactions and my other videos because I'm gonna be making my own videos with my own takes on a bunch of things eventually, though. But if you do look forward to seeing that, make sure you subscribe to that, man. If you like what I have to say in my videos, subscribe for more, where I spit more facts, nothing but facts, of course. Anyways, man, thank you for watching, man, and thank you for taking your time to watch me watch this.